This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Stanley Fullord. In this week's broadcast, conference holds annual meeting and members celebrate ASI Sabbath. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. The South Bahamas Conference held its annual meeting on June 29th at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church. Conference administration met with the representatives from the churches to update them on areas including stewardship and finances, evangelistic efforts, and education. In his report, the president of the South Bahamas Conference, Pastor Kenny DeVoe, commended the church for its support during the year.
In 2024, we have seen growth in the baptisms over 2023. And we are so grateful for the support of our laity as you held up your pastor's hands in the various districts and churches.
Executive Secretary Pastor Leonardo Ramming provided the baptismal report for the year and encouraged the members to continue the mission of sharing the gospel.
We ask that you partner with us by using your talents, gifts, and abilities so that the South Bahamas Conference will continue to see an increase in membership and the number of churches as we continue to carry out the Great Commission.
During the annual meeting, a question and answer period was held, allowing the church delegates to present their inquiries to the administrative team. Overall, the annual meeting proved to be an effective platform to keep the members informed. The Inter-American Division celebrated Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries, ASI, throughout its territories on June 21, 2025. Here in the South Bahamas Conference, the ASI Bahamas chapter worshipped at the Berea Seventh-day Adventist Church under the theme, Faith That Conquers Fear. The members spearheaded the service, beginning with Sabbath School, where a panel discussion was held. The panel emphasized that God equips his followers not with fear, but with power, love, and a sound mind. The service also highlighted the work of ASI in the Bahamas, including recent mission trips to Ghana, Cat Island, and Inagua, which were celebrated as examples of faith in action. A highlight of ASI Sabbath was hearing the testimonies of those whose lives have been impacted by the organization. ASI advocate Lizette McKinney, who is also a non-Adventist collaborator, shared with the congregation her testimony about her interactions with ASI.
I must say with ASI, I found love. I wasn't looking for love. I am loved. I have a family that loves me. I have a church family that loves me. But I found love. I found a family that is committed to the words of Christ. Christ said that we are to love the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our soul, with all our strength, and to love our neighbors the way we love ourselves. I found a family who, because they loved, were obedient to his words. I found a family who, because they loved, welcomed us in.
Carlotta Ferguson emphasized the importance of having a missionary spirit when joining ASI.
ASI is not what you do, is who you are. As Adventists, I always tell people it's not, Adventism is a lifestyle. ASI is a lifestyle. What in you will come out 10 times, 100 times more corporately. Everyone probably have their little ministry here, their little ministry there. But imagine having that little ministry in a bigger body so you can do more.
The speaker for the service was ASI's Bahamas President, Ian Green, who reminded the congregation to continuously build their faith in God. Green shared that participating in communal activities like mission trips or gatherings enhances spiritual growth and encourages shared experiences amongst believers.
I don't know what your relationship is with God today, but I'm telling you that if you decide to come with us in October, this is important for you to understand. Please hear me out. Do not look at your account. I want you to look to God and say, God, I know I don't have it. But somebody told me who's been with you that when we step out of the boat by faith, we will not sink.
Faith in God, Green added, empowers individuals to overcome life's challenges and to step out of their comfort zones. ASI Sabbath concluded with an AY service that was also held at Berea Church. The group will continue its mission efforts later this year with a family island trip to Long Island and an international trip to Ghana. The Children and Adolescents Ministries Department of the South Bahamas Conference held its first ever Vesper on the steps on Friday, June 27, 2025. The event, themed Let Your Light Shine, was held on the conference grounds with not just lights, but lives encouraged to be lit up for Christ. The evening opened with songs of worship as families, adolescents, and children gathered on the steps under the open sky to bring in the Sabbath. A standout highlight of the night was the debut of Cham's adolescent praise team called the Psalms Project. This group of anointed singers and musicians are made of students from Bahamas Academy. The spoken word came powerfully through Gabby from the Ephesus Church, whose devotional thought captured the hearts of all in attendance. Her message challenged all in attendance to shine with boldness and purpose, standing firm in a world that desperately needs God's light. When we return, we'll have more on what's coming up in the South Bahamas Conference.
You might be asking, who are Seventh-day Adventists? Commonly known as Adventists, we are a Christian movement established in 1863. We have 28 fundamental beliefs and more than 20 million members. We also observe the Seventh-day Sabbath. Worldwide, we have more than 162,000 congregations. We serve countless communities with our education institutions, with 2 million students. And 198 hospitals around the world. And it's all because we love Jesus.
Welcome back to Adventist News, and coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, the SBC Youth Department is celebrating youth throughout the month of July and has lots of activities planned for everyone to enjoy. The 2025 Volleyball League, which began June 28th, continues at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church. Kickball League will begin on July 26th at the Blue Hill Sporting Complex. For more information, contact your local church youth leader. The wait is soon over. The South Bahamas Conference Pathfinder Band will be relaunching very soon. For more information, contact the Youth Department at 341-4021. And mark your calendars, the New Providence Singles Ministries presents Bowling Night on Saturday, July 26th at The Point. Please RSVP by Friday, July 18th if you plan to attend so that we can reserve enough lanes. Look forward to a night of fun and laughter. A music workshop will be held for children ages 12 through 15 at the Ephesus Church on Parkgate Road. The workshop will begin July 25th, 2025 and will conclude July 27th, 2025. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all of our upcoming conference events. There you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update along with other local programming from our cable channel ATV 658 and read the weekly logos as well as the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
Hello, everyone. Our health tip for today is Strong Bones for Life. I will share 5 tips for bone health. 1. Understand your individual risk for fractures and bone loss. 2. Be physically active every day, especially with weight-bearing exercises. 3. Maintain a healthy weight. 4. Get enough calcium and vitamin D through your diet or supplements. And 5. Do not smoke. In closing, you're never too young or too old to take care of your bones. Whether you're building them up or working to keep them strong, the choices you make today can protect you for life. Let's commit to stronger bones for better movement, better health, and a better future. It was a pleasure sharing with you. Stay strong and take care. This has been Sharice Roll for your Health Tips.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
In the South Pacific, hundreds of volunteers built a church in a remote village with no previous Adventist presence and served the community with essential supplies and practical training.
In Papua New Guinea, the village of Regal, an isolated community where residents must travel up to 3 days to access basic goods, welcomed more than 300 volunteers who spent a week providing both spiritual and practical support through community service. Under the theme, Jesus is All I Need, the initiative marked the first time an Adventist church was established in the area. Built in just 5 days, the church was part of the Papua New Guinea for Christ campaign, funded by the Adventist Church in the South Pacific region. The church was officially inaugurated by Pastor Andrew Opus, president of the New Britain, New Ireland mission. The land for the church, and for a future pastor's house, was donated by the village chief, Herman Seneng, who, along with his family and clan, committed to joining the Adventist Church. They attended the first Sabbath service with the volunteer team at their camp. Beyond constructing the church, volunteers engaged in community outreach through health education, life skills training, and infrastructure development.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news stories and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of our Adventist news, along with other programming, and to keep in touch with what's happening at our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of material from the Communications Department, so you'll want to check those out, and remember to subscribe, to like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station, Word SBC 88.3 FM, and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658, to get updates, insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel, so feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news there. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news update. I'm Stanley Flord for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.